Tonight I have the honor of introducing this year's Educator of the Year, who also happens to be a dear friend. Abra Bankendorf Vigna is a teacher of many things. As co-facilitator of Madison's youth groups, Teens Like Us and Top 10, she spends much of her time helping young people build and maintain healthy relationships with their peers, partners, and families, all the while supporting the development of their multifaceted identities and giving them the tools they need to keep themselves safe and thriving. I especially enjoy sitting in on her oft-reprised Female Body Health Workshop, in which students, over the course of an hour, move from nervousness, discomfort, or even fear of talking about women's bodies to openly asking questions and even bragging to their friends about the rad vulva they just made out of Play-Doh. Abra is also a teacher of yoga. On more than one occasion, I have heard her say that yoga truly begins the moment you want to get out of a pose, meaning yoga really happens when we start to feel those big new sensations and yet push ourselves to keep doing something even though it's hard. It is in those moments when Abra truly shines. Like every great teacher, she is right there, reminding us to breathe and supporting us in that difficult moment so that we can move through it and grow. Time and time again, I've seen her play that support role to young people, to school teachers, and to other youth workers, myself included, a strong yet gentle presence in that sometimes scary and difficult place of new learning, guiding us and urging us to reach our full potential. Please welcome to the stage this year's Educator of the Year, Abra Bankendorf Vigna. An extra gift for Abra because I want those female body workshops to continue.
If I could truly multitask, I would really love to actually put a vulva together for you and present it by the end of my speech, but I'm afraid I'm going to have enough trouble breathing and getting through this. So, here goes. Receiving the Educator of the Year award is quite sincerely a dream come true for me. I realized that I had found my calling in education the day that I got the Teens Like Us facilitator position. I mean, maybe not that actual day, because as many people who were there will testify, I was completely terrified and kind of mute for a little bit of time. But once I let that terror wash out of me and become more present, I found that I had the opportunity in that position to become the person that I had always wanted to be and always feared that I never would. Being an educator is the most challenging and the most rewarding profession that I can think of. It asks so much of you as a person, and yet the work of an educator is painfully underappreciated in the K-12 environment and almost completely invisible in the out-of-school context. Although it's well known that it's during the unsupervised hours between when school lets out and when caretakers come home from work that adolescents are most likely to make the decisions with life-changing consequences, it is truly rare that the people who seek to support and impart those important life skills to youth during that time is recognized, which is why it is really so amazing and shocking to be standing up here and receiving this award today. You see, in my line of work, this banquet is sort of like the Oscars or the VMAs. And I will admit, I'm a little disappointed that I don't get a tiny golden or rainbow androgynous person. And I think that we should work on this. Brian, Mom. So, considering this banquet is very much to me like the Oscars or the VMAs, and that's the way that I felt when I got the call, and I was just so ecstatic. I was like, I should totally be my own very Kanye West and tell you exactly who I think should actually be standing up here and receiving this reward instead of me, award. So there are some other non-traditional teachers, if you will, that made me the person that I am today that I would really like to recognize. and for whom there really are very rare occasions to actually have award ceremonies for them. The first person I want to acknowledge is the person who introduced me to youth work, Mr. Craig Adamski. Craig ran Teens Like Us for literally years before I arrived on the scene, and he truly taught me that a good educator does so much more than impart novel information in memorable ways. Craig taught me the capacity of a well-worded question to open up the doors of a person's inner knowing in a way that far outlasts any good lecture. Second, of course, is Mama J, whose inexhaustible enthusiasm and conviction that there is inherent goodness in every single person, particularly youth, taught me to release the vestiges of cynicism that I had contrived in my adolescence and carried with me into adulthood. Third, this award should go to Tim Michael, whose quiet yet elemental presence teaches me that a clever and well-organized approach has the power and indeed the magic that is needed to change the world. Fourth, M. Adams, who unexpectedly was actually acknowledged in this award show tonight, but hey. She is a living definition of integrity, and who, through example, has taught me just how fierce, tireless, and honest kindness should be. Fifth, I want to acknowledge my parents who have taught me exactly how healing having a people and a place to whom you belong can be to a young person. Sixth, my wife, who every single day teaches me that from generosity one can impart limitlessness, that practices of gratitude can quell all fears, and that with the gift of unconditional support, a person can find the strength to overcome or become anything. And lastly, this award truly belongs to the most inspiring, non-traditional teachers among us, as has been noted many times already this evening, which is the youth. From the youth, I have learned humility, grace, and courage. They have taught me that radical self-acceptance really is possible, that walking through the world with a heart wide enough to take it all in and delight in every single moment is the fountain of youth from which we can all drink greedily. And that no matter what sort of front we put on to keep the world at a distance, it is really never too late to reach out and connect. So it's on behalf of all of these educators and more that I accept this award. Thank you.